It started as a miracle of modern science. A single machine, a sleek capsule no larger than a phone booth, capable of erasing any memory you wanted to forget. Heartbreak gone. Trauma wiped clean. Guilt, regret, and sorrow deleted forever. Society hailed it as the next step in human evolution, a way to live without the burdens of the past. At first, only a few dared to try it. The desperate, the grieving, those who had lost loved ones and couldn't bear the pain any longer. But soon, the machine's popularity exploded. Celebrities, politicians, and billionaires lined up to erase their scandals, their mistakes, their failures. And with every use, the lines between truth and illusion began to blur. People no longer feared consequences because they could simply forget them. Wars could be started and erased. Crimes committed and wiped from existence. Love stories could be rewritten at will. The world transformed into a place where nothing mattered because everything could be erased. But something was wrong. Some memories didn't disappear completely. Some came back twisted, distorted, haunting those who had tried to forget. And worse, those who had wiped their minds too many times started to lose something more than just their past. They lost their identity, their emotions, their very souls. Now, one scientist, one of the creators of the machine, has uncovered a terrifying truth. The memories aren't just gone. They're being collected, stolen, consumed by something lurking deep within the system. A hidden force that grows stronger with each erased mind. And as the world rushes toward complete oblivion, they face the ultimate question: would you step into the machine and wipe your mind, knowing you may never be the same again? The mind wipe machine was initially developed as a groundbreaking medical advancement, intended to help those suffering from extreme trauma, PTSD, and unbearable grief. Scientists and engineers spent decades perfecting the device, ensuring that it could selectively remove painful memories while preserving the rest of a person's identity. It was supposed to be a therapeutic tool, offering relief to those trapped in their own minds. The idea was simple: step into the machine, select the memories you wish to erase, and walk away feeling lighter, as if the burden had never existed. At first, only a handful of test subjects volunteered for the procedure, mostly those who had suffered unimaginable losses or lived through horrific experiences. The results were astounding. Patients who had been plagued by emotional distress for years walked out of the machine with newfound clarity and peace. Their suffering was gone, as though it had never been part of their lives. As word spread, the machine became more than just a tool for healing; it became a commodity. People who had experienced heartbreaks, embarrassing failures, or regrets saw an opportunity to start fresh. The technology that had once been developed with the purest intentions now stood at the center of a social and ethical revolution. Debates erupted over its implications. Would erasing memories also erase the lessons learned from them? Could a person truly grow if they had never suffered? Governments and corporations saw the potential for power. After all, if people could forget their pain, they could also forget the injustices done to them. And so, the machine quickly went from being a medical breakthrough to a tool of mass control. What had started as a simple mistaken oversight in how easily people would surrender their memories was about to spiral into something much darker. As the mind wipe machine became widely accessible, its uses expanded far beyond personal healing. Governments, corporations, and underground organizations saw the device as an opportunity to reshape society. At first, it was voluntary, offered as a luxury service for those who wanted to erase personal pain, regrets, or even minor inconveniences. But soon, the line between choice and coercion began to blur. Criminals were given a chance at rehabilitation by having their worst memories erased, stripping them of the experiences that had led them down the wrong path. Political figures used the machine to rewrite their past mistakes, eliminating scandals and reshaping public perception. Witnesses to crimes mysteriously forgot crucial details, while activists and rebels suddenly lost the memories that had driven them to fight for justice. As memory wiping became an everyday practice, people started abusing it for personal gain. Spouses erased memories of infidelity, employees deleted moments of workplace humiliation, and the wealthy erased years of guilt and trauma, giving themselves a constant fresh start. Without the weight of past experiences, decision-making became reckless, and society lost the lessons learned from hardship. Relationships crumbled as people erased arguments and betrayals, forgetting the very moments that had strengthened their bonds. Identity itself became unstable. If a person could erase every part of themselves they disliked, then who were they truly? Soon, an underground market for stolen memories emerged. Hackers and black market dealers found ways to extract and sell erased memories to the highest bidder. Governments began forcibly erasing dissidents, rewriting history one mind at a time. People no longer trusted their own recollections, questioning whether their memories were real or manufactured. What had started as a cure for suffering had transformed into a tool of manipulation, and no one could be certain if they were living their own truth or someone else's design. As society embraced memory-wiping technology, it was only a matter of time before the science advanced further. Researchers discovered that memories weren't just erasable, they could be altered, merged, or even fabricated from scratch. At first, this breakthrough was hailed as a miracle. Trauma survivors could replace their most painful experiences with comforting, artificial recollections. Those suffering from mental illness could receive entirely new pasts, ones that would stabilize their emotions and help them function more effectively. The military saw potential too, crafting soldiers with perfectly curated memories, trained through implanted experiences instead of real-world battle. Instead of years of grueling combat training, they could upload expertise directly into a recruit's brain, creating warriors with decades of experience in mere moments. But the implications were far darker than anyone had anticipated. If memories could be modified, then reality itself became unreliable. Governments erased dissent by rewriting people's pasts, replacing rebellion with obedience. Corporations injected brand loyalty directly into consumers, ensuring unwavering dedication to their products and services. People began paying to relive events that never happened: false vacations, imaginary relationships, successes that were nothing more than implanted dreams. Over time, distinguishing genuine memories from fabricated ones became impossible. Individuals who once opposed the system found themselves suddenly devoted to it, their past rewritten to align with the interests of those in power. As the technology spread, paranoia took hold. Could a memory truly be trusted if it could be rewritten at any moment? Were people living their authentic lives, or just carefully designed illusions? Families shattered when loved ones accused each other of having their minds tampered with. Reality itself became subjective, and as more people opted for the perfect past, humanity teetered on the edge of complete existential collapse where no one could ever be certain of who they truly were. As memory-wiping technology became a routine part of life, the lines between truth and fabrication blurred beyond recognition. Governments, corporations, and the ultra-wealthy seized control of the technology, using it not only to erase inconvenient knowledge but to shape public perception itself. Societies were no longer bound by shared histories; instead, each individual could exist within a curated version of reality, one tailored to serve the interests of those in power. Entire populations were reprogrammed to forget uprisings, injustices, and corruption, ensuring absolute control over the masses. The world became a place where history could be rewritten overnight, and no one would ever realize what had changed. At first, the changes were subtle. Small alterations were made, news reports adjusted, laws rewritten, memories of scandals removed. But as those in power grew bolder, entire decades were erased or replaced. Wars that had never happened became defining moments of national pride. Leaders who had once been reviled were suddenly remembered as heroes. The concept of truth itself lost all meaning, as each person's recollection of reality became nothing more than a carefully crafted illusion. Those who dared to resist were dealt with swiftly, not through violence, but through deletion. Their identities were erased, their memories wiped clean and replaced with new ones. Dissenters became loyal followers, activists became devoted servants of the state, and the very idea of rebellion was systematically erased from existence. But a flaw remained in the system, an unintended consequence that no one had foreseen. Beneath the layers of artificial memories, fragments of erased experiences lingered. Whispers of forgotten truths gnawed at the edges of people's consciousness, causing unease, doubt, and fear. And deep within the minds of those who had been rewritten, something ancient and primal fought to remember. As the use of memory-wiping technology spread, an underground resistance began to form. These were individuals who had somehow retained fragments of their erased pasts, glitches in the system, anomalies that the machine failed to completely rewrite. They called themselves the Rememberers, and they were determined to bring the truth back to the world. Operating in the shadows, they devised ways to resist the constant rewriting of history. Some wore electromagnetic disruptors to shield their minds from the machine's influence, while others developed crude techniques to trigger lost memories, using old photographs, journal entries, and symbols from a forgotten past. Their greatest challenge was proving that reality itself had been altered. How could they convince a world that no longer remembered its own past? The Rememberers discovered that some individuals were immune to the machine's effects either by genetic anomaly or through sheer force of will. These people became their most valuable assets, living records of the true history that had been systematically erased. With their help, the resistance began infiltrating the facilities where the memory-wiping technology was housed, searching for a way to shut it down permanently. But the ruling elite, who had built their power upon controlling the truth, would not give it up easily. They deployed their own enforcers, mind-wiped agents programmed to eliminate anyone who posed a threat to the system. As the battle between truth and control escalated, the Rememberers made a final, desperate move. They sought to reverse the effects of the machine on a global scale, restoring the memories of billions in one instant. But the question remained, would humanity be able to handle the weight of everything they had forgotten, or was the truth so devastating that the world would collapse under its own lost past?